Emotional sad story of ghost my Europe old woman. A few years ago, I visited one of my friends, and I planned to spend a few days with him. Later that same evening, he told me to accompany him to pay a condolence visit to one of their neighbors who recently lost his wife. I agreed, and we strolled out to the compound, which is only a shouting distance from my friend's house. When we entered the house, a sober atmosphere enveloped me. I saw some men seated with their heads resting on their palms. Sorrow was written on their faces. My friend and I went to a young man who I presume is the husband of the late woman, and we offered him words of consolation. The grieving man nodded to our cliché of consolatory words. We found a chair and sat down with the other sympathizers. From where we sat, I observed the wailing women. Some of them were screaming at the top of their voices, some others were tapping their feet, and asking Antonia, the late woman, why she had to die so soon. One of the wailing women seemed to be very dramatic. Dramatic in the sense that she periodically jumps up and lands on the floor, rolls on it, and begins to shout, Antonia, why? Once she does that, the other women will surround her and beg her to be strong for her son who just lost his wife and the newly born baby who just lost her mother. The atmosphere was tense with deep emotion, but there was something about that woman that seemed odd to me, but I couldn't place it. Before you continue reading, subscribe to this YouTube channel. As if on cue, I felt a strange presence, and right there at the door, stood an angry-looking woman. Her eyes was blazing red, and her long hair was scattered. At first, I thought that she was one of the numerous sympathizers. But when she walked, or should I say floated past me, and nobody in that living room noticed her presence, I knew that I had seen a ghost. She breezed past me and went to the far end of the living room, stood there, and was staring at a baby cot. That was when I noticed that a baby was even in the living room with us. I stared at her for a long time to know what she was up to. She suddenly turned, and our eyes jammed. Now, here is one thing with ghosts. They know most normal humans cannot see them. They also know that a few humans who have such rare gifts can equally see them. That was exactly what happened. When our eyes jammed, her eyes, which were initially blazing with fire, had turned to the sad eye. The moment she realized that I saw her, she fixed her gaze on me, smiled wickedly, then pleaded with her eyes. I understood the sign and stood up. I excused my friend, and I stepped outside. Just like I expected, she was right there with me in the parking space. I brought out my phone, placed it on my ear as if I wanted to make a call. I do that most times when I communicate with ghosts in the public. Then I asked, what is it? She said that I am the first human being that has seen her since she died 3 days ago. She heaved a sigh, pointed towards the entrance, and said, she killed me. That woman killed me. Follow this page for the continuation of this ghost experience. Invite your friends too, because you will learn a lot of lessons. Shalom. My name is Eternity Boyo. I have the rare ability to see, feel, and communicate with ghosts freely without any harm.